Hey guys, it's Noah. Today we're going to be showcasing one of my machines that I've made in Kirby Air Riders. And today we're going to be showing off the King of Red Lions from The Legend of Zelda the Wind Waker. If anybody who doesn't know, he is a sailboat that you ride who is in the shape of a lion that is red. And he talks. But yeah. Anyways, I just kind of wanted to show you some techniques that I use to make this. I usually sit on my designs for quite a while, so he's had some tweaks over the months, but I think I'm ready to release him out into the wild for anyone to download for themselves. Obviously, he is red. Not pure red, he's actually slightly orange in the game. And I actually did not give him the obvious wood texture that the game can use. I actually use this very shiny one because, you know, in the Wind Waker, all of the models, they're cell shaded. They don't have like super serious texture work or anything, especially like the player models or anything. So that, and it also texturized the water that's down here, and that just doesn't look good. So I use the super shiny material. Then we got the whites that are used for the rim of the boat, as well as the water. And then, so if I didn't use the wood texture for the actual wood, I wanted to still make it look like it was made out of wood. So instead I used the wavy texture for the pattern, and I gave it a very low opacity, approximately 50% it says. So that was also used for these ones because it's like the rudders of the boat too. I left the water completely normal because the water in the Wind Waker looks very, you know, blue, and it's just not textured or anything. Not specifically textured. The whole thing is a texture, but like as far as the accessories go, we got the little sailboat, or the little sail that goes on the boat. It's gonna be a little bit red. Because you can only change the color, you know, so much. But this is the color of the actual boat sail in the game, this kind of color. So maybe it's the Swift sail from the HD version of the game. And then in order to make the water look like it was coming up, like you do when you go full speed in the game in the water, I have these blue little thorns, and I've colored them blue. So it kind of makes it look like he's sailing right along. Might as well go on to the effects. We have the water, or the bubbles, to kind of imitate the fact that it's like making splashes, just like in the game. The quick skin I also made blue, just to kind of make it look like it's wavy. And then the underglow also blue to make it look like, you know, he's kind of in the ocean a little bit. Usually I don't go overboard with the effects on my machines, but this one, it just happened to work out that I actually used all three of them. And then as far as the sound goes, I think C sounds the most like a boat. Not like the competition is any better. But let's take a look at the decals. I use all 20 of them. We use 2 for the main. I wish I could show you the colors of them, but the way how Kirby Air Ride works is that it saves your like most recent ones, and since obviously I work on my machine so often, it won't actually save the proper Pantones and stuff like that used for the cars. So you just kind of eyeball it. But yeah, we use 2 decals for the main. We use 4 of them, believe it or not, for the horns on the king. I have 2 that are used to actually give like the inside, like the wooden floor almost, or at least the appearance of it. Then we have the nose, which I have cleverly used the crown here. This is actually a cool technique that I can distribute, or I can display. Basically what you do is you use the depth tool, and you can actually do a lot of cool stuff with shapes in this. So this is what it's supposed to look like. If we scale it all the way back, that's what the crown is normally supposed to look like. But we can bring up the depth so that we can actually achieve the nose-looking shape that his nose is. You could even bring it up a little bit more. That gives it a more rounded look. but since his nose is like chiseled in the game, since, you know, he's obviously carved out of wood, we want to bring it up even a little bit more just so that it looks more edged, essentially. Then what we want to do, obviously we use 6 total ones for the eyes. I really like this shape for the eyes. I think that managed to work out perfectly for it. He does have blue eyes. The eyes are actually slightly more orange than the actual ears and the nose are. And then 2 eyebrows. The fangs of the lion were actually done by optimizing 1 fang down here and just using it. You gotta save the decals. So, yeah, that was a nice way of optimizing the fangs right there. Then, the last of the decals that I used, this was actually the trickiest part of all, trying to find the water, like the perfect one that would like curve with the water to make it look natural. And eventually it took me like a ton of tries, but eventually I settled on the batwing design and using it on the side just like this. But yeah, it was very tricky to figure out how in the world I'm gonna make something, because again, you can't really use the depth tool with this one that much, because it's like it's all over the place. But eventually, yeah, it was the whatchamacallit, the bat wings did the trick. That's just kind of for reference how it's supposed to look. If you go a little earlier or lower, you can kind of see how it sticks to the boat itself. So you got to use the depth for that. So you can't use any like cool shaped cheese or anything. And then the other side is completely flipped. The symmetry tool was basically used so that everything is proportionally accurate to each side. And unfortunately, the only like decal that I'm like upset that I couldn't really optimize that well is this, or these two. In order to make the bottom blue, I basically had to use 2 decals because of the way that the shapes work in Kirby Air Ride. You would think that I would be able to just like put one right in the middle and cover everything up, but it's actually very hard, and it's just not very good if you want it to look clean like the water does down here. If I did have any way to optimize that, I would put it in the back here. But honestly, since you never really see the underside of the boat anyways in gameplay, I just kind of left it. But yeah, anyways, we can now take a look at that in action. Let's take it to a race. Wave flow waters is pretty fitting. There we go. And we'll just fight a bunch of random CPUs. But yeah, I'm really proud of how this one turned out. Especially over the Rex Wheelie in particular. It's notoriously a difficult car to steer, so it actually makes perfect sense for it being like a literal boat. Oh, let's grab the sword. Oh, yeah. This is actually great. Lolo with the sword, actually. Let's even see if we can get a picture. That's pretty good. That actually is pretty wild. We'll take a picture of that. Nice. Alright. Back to the race. But yeah, I think it just looks really great for what it's supposed to be, you know? Like, let's go over here. Yeah, just look at that. Sailing on the water. King of Red Lions. I don't know why I did 2 laps. 1 lap might be good enough. Here's some water that we can race on. Oh, let's at least place first. Alright, and we're coming up on the end here. Just gonna take some nice turns. Actually, I'm using Rex Wheelie. It doesn't turn. There we go. There it is. The King of Red Lions. And here's a little victory animation scene. There's our king. Alright, sweet. Let us put that on the marketplace now. There we go. 3/24, the actual day that the Wind Waker released in North America. So, how fitting of a date to release this, I suppose. This will be on the marketplace for just a little bit. I'll try to leave the ID in the description if it happens to be up, but most often than not, it probably won't be up for very long. So if you really want this car, definitely get it while you got the chance. But yeah, that is it for now. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked seeing me kind of break down how I make the My Machine cars, feel free to give the video a like. That would tell me that you guys want to see more of this. It's just kind of an experiment to see if people are even interested in the My Machines for Kirby Air Riders. Maybe you learn some cool techniques of how you could actually make your own My Machines in this game. But yeah, that's going to do it for today, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.